You know, I just love the name Imole
Okay.
because right from going to church,
Yeah.
we used to have, I don't know what we call it then, like whenever we are done with prayer, we used to say Oba Imole.
Yeah.
So there was a time I did a cover of a song like that. It was like kind of a Christian song, so I had to put Oba Imole in the intro. Then after, people started calling me Imole already.
And it's soothing. I'm not even gonna lie.
Imole, beloved Nigerian artist, also more known as MOHBAD, is dead. Let's talk about it. Get your mind right and your body tight. Get your mind right and your body tight. Get your mind right and your body tight. Hey everyone. I don't know if you all seen this in the news. Hey, thank you all for dropping in. This beloved Nigerian artist has died, and the interwebs have been flooded with news of his death. And I didn't even know about him. I was curious because all the hashtags kept saying, justice for MOHBAD, justice for MOHBAD. What is going on? Why does his death require justice? And that led me to search and try to figure out what is going on. This is the artist MOHBAD, dead at 27 years old. These are the streets of Nigeria, his country, flooded with people screaming for justice for MOHBAD. Lots of protesting going on just to figure out, will he have justice in his death? And like the question is, what's happening? Why is this going on? You even have American artists coming in. You have Little Dirk, Meek Mill.
Hero to the passing. Damn.
Kodak
That's so
Black.
crazy, right? Now I just ran across the page like this week, a few days ago, woman. RP to MOHBAD, Kodak, you was his neighborhood hero to the...
Lots of people out there asking for justice for this young artist. He was a talented guy. I honestly, I've heard some of his songs before. I just didn't know him. You know, I am fixing my light. I am Jamaican and not Nigerian though. And you know, each country has their own local artists. And he was a big name. He was considered, from what I could see, he was like the Tupac because he spoke to the generation. He spoke to the people, and people were feeling his music. Here's an example of one of his songs. See how you feel about it. Yeah.
That is my confidence. Every man is out in there. But when I'm there no more, people will love me more. Talk about the things I've done, discuss my right and wrongs. While I'm laying dead on floor, when I can't talk no more.
I mean, even the subject matter, he just really speaks about things that were deep. Yeah, he kind of like Tupac. He had deep songs, and then he had songs that you could bop to, enjoy, and just have a good time with. This is what happened. This is the mystery. This is why people are protesting in the streets. Let me tell you what happened. At least what I do know, what from our watching countless videos have uncovered about this young man's untimely death, leaving a wife and a son behind. MOHBAD, this is his funeral. But before we get to that, let's hold up a second and let me tell you what happened. He had an amazing music career. He actually dropped out of school and started, he dropped out of school, started making music, putting it on the internet, and he was noticed by a record owner, a record company, record label owner, as well as an artist himself. His name is Naira Marley. And he took him as a mentor and developed him as an artist, and his music began to blow up in Nigeria. 3 years, well, this is three years into his contract, he decided that, no, I can't stay with these people anymore. I gotta go. And it was confusing as to what happened. But before we get into that, that's a little background on him. Let's talk about his death. His death is a mystery. This right here is a footage of his actual funeral. There are actual pictures of him in the coffin. I won't show that because I don't know what YouTube guidelines are. And plus, I feel it may be a little insensitive. I don't know if culturally, if Nigeria people are cool with that, because I've seen pictures of him in the funeral, in his coffin. Here is the mystery about his funeral. He died September the 12th. The next day, he was buried. I'm going to tell you why that seemed so suspicious. First of all, when you're Muslim, they do bury you pretty rapidly. This was not a Muslim young man. He was Christian. You heard it in the onset. He named himself Imole because of his Christian base. His father is even a pastor. His father said he was buried so quickly because of his Yoruba origin, his Yoruba culture, and when your parents are still alive, you are supposed to be buried as quick as possible. I don't know anything about that. I can't validate that. The people are concerned and questioning. If he died of natural causes, if everything was okay with his death, why was he buried so rapidly and so quickly? And I'm going to tell you exactly why people are wondering. Remember, I told you about the record producer that was his mentor and how he left his contract 3 years into his contract with a record company, leaving them as a rising artist. That did not go over very well at all. Can I just back up again to his funeral? There's something else that you need to know about how rapidly he was buried. He was a tall, very tall guy. And the pictures of his actual body, they're pictures of his body in the coffin. And he was bent, almost like maneuvered into a quick coffin just to fit, because they did not take the time to find a coffin that would fit him. That is so sad. Why did they have to bury him so quickly? Who knows? It's all shrouded in mystery. So many unanswered questions about what happened to him. He left behind a wife. This is a collage of him and his family, a young son that will not be able to know his dad. This is his wife and him. You can see, it was a young man that was in love, had a family. His life was not peaceful at all. Let me explain to you why his life was not peaceful. After he left the record company, he was creating amazing music that inspired the people. People were just, they loved him. He wasn't troublesome. He didn't cause any problems. He was humble. He was just out there just being a young man that has fame and was just doing well in the music industry in his country. Here are just a couple of videos of him.
I go bully, but I know go class, daddy, I am sorry.
I told you he has a few little butt songs too. This was a talented artist. He really was. He was a talented guy that people loved. But after he left the record company, It is said that he was tormented and almost and bullied. That's the word we're going to use. He was bullied after he left. People were fighting him at his concert. This is a video of someone fighting him and beating up on him. I think this is him with the blonde hair. You can really, if you want to pick him out in the crowd right there, you could see he is right there in the crowd, and somebody's beating on him right outside after an event that he had. He got married. When he got married after, I believe, after he left the record company, and he didn't even publicize it because he was afraid for his family. Who was beating him up? Why was he afraid? This is even a picture of him after someone had beat him. It is thought that Naira Marley, the musical mentor that he had, that the owner of the record company that he had, was behind it. It is thought that he had one of his friends, a powerful friend of his called Sam Larry, who later on, of course, went to deny it, was behind him being bullied after he left the record company. Now you may ask, why did he leave? Well, those are interesting questions. It was thought that he left the record company because there's several theories that are out there. No one will really know. It's thought because his money, they were not being careful with his money. They were not paying him enough. It's thought because they were into drug dealing, like the record company may have been a cover for a drug dealing ring, and he was not willing to be a part of that. It was thought that they may have even been into some occult, dark magic type thing, and he wasn't into that. Those are some of the theories that are out there. But either way, he left, and after he left, he was bullied and tortured and tormented. The man even was so depressed because of this. This is a video of him. I mean, I don't speak the language, let's just be honest, but you don't have to speak it to see that this is a person that was tormented. This is a person that did not feel safe. This is a person that had something going on. All this happened. He left the company last year in 2022. And since he left, his life had been made a living hell. Even to the point that they even showed up on his video sets to harass him. All this was going on. It's so interesting. And then he died. This is a video of his friend. It's not sure if he's dead yet, but he's not doing well when he is in this car with his friend. He's not doing well, and they're asking for help for him. So after months of being harassed by other people and going into a deep depression, he actually even attempted to unalive himself once. He was not successful. And so it's not clear why he died. There's some things that he had an ear infection and the medication had a reaction to the medication that he was given or something along those lines. There's theories out there that he got into a fight with somebody and they got too rough and tumbly, a friendly fight with a friend, and they just got carried away and he got hurt. There are theories out there that they think his wife had just all kind of things. Just because when you don't have the answer, people start making up things. And that was what's going on with MOHBAD. Pretty sad story. And the reason I decided to really talk about this is because here's the thing. These things are real. People can just hate you for whatever reason and will stop at nothing to destroy you. They will force you to the brink where they force you to hurt yourself or force you to hurt the other people around you. Some people won't stop that because of jealousy, because of hate, because of many things. Because you left them, there's a toxic relationship there, and if I can't have you, no one can. And you can't help but think this is what's going on. I'm sure there are parts of the story that we don't really know and really don't have the answers to. I really brought this up because I really wanted you all to understand that sometimes hatred that people have in their heart can run really deep, and they don't care if they hurt you. They don't care what happens to you. This is a man that has now left his family behind. He was a musician. He had gift and talent that he was sharing out there with the world. And now the world doesn't have his talents anymore. People that looked up to him, they no longer have it. You know, when I saw this story, it really reminded me of what happened with King David, before King David, when David was a little boy, young, like a teenager, and how Saul got jealous about how he became bigger than him. You know, Saul kills his thousands, David's his 10,000s. People would sing that song, and Saul would get mad. The king of Israel many years ago in the Bible would get mad because people were liking David more than him, and he was the king. And he started hunting David to kill him. This kind of rings the story like that. Don't it seem like the same thing? I want you all to be careful out there and understand that there are hateful people out there. There are people out there that truly are evil and are truly bent set on destroying the people around them. I don't want you to be paranoid, but just understand that these things happen. I don't know all the story, but there are definitely parts of it to be a word of caution for you. Now, I will have to continue to say that as they were out there seeking justice, the Nigerian government actually has...
Well done. Thank you. No, we can.
An autopsy will be done.
Yeah.
So people have been asking for an autopsy to be done, and you hear that this is a governmental official that is reassuring people that there will be an autopsy done. As of this recording, I don't know if an autopsy was done at all. We just have to, listen, we don't know what's going to happen. This is a tough situation. He was so much mystery. He died suddenly of, we don't know of what. He was buried suddenly. He was harassed. He actually even sought a lot of help during the time of his harassment, and no one would help him. People assume that some of the times it was because of the Naira Marley person and the Sam Larry person they were really good friends, as well as they had some positions of power in the local area or even in with officials, that nothing was done because these people were more powerful. Listen, it's a whole conspiracy thing. Be careful when you're out there. There are a lot of jealous and bad mind people out there that, they don't want you to go off on your own. They want you to belong to them, and they don't want to see you win regardless. And they'd rather hurt you than have you win. We'll just wait and see what else comes out in this story. I will throw in, from what I saw, there were accusations even about MOHBAD himself, questioning whether he had questioning his sanity at times. I even saw some things that, who knows? You know what? Let me know in the comment section below what you think. The biggest thing I wanted you all to know is that sometimes people are going to hate you. Be careful. Everybody doesn't love you, and just be very careful when you're out there. justice for MOHBAD. I hope they all figure out exactly what happened to him, his untimely death, and pray for his wife and his family. All right, I'm out. Bye. Get your mind